The Minecraft Nether update. As the time of this video, it's one of the biggest updates in all of Minecraft's history. It has included 4 new biomes into the Nether. For instance, the Reckoning Soul Sand Valley that homes many souls, skeletons, and ghasts. The Erupting Basalt Deltas that only contains magma cubes and ghasts. The Mystical Warp Forest that is the home of the Enderman, and the threatening Crimson Forest with tough hoglins and greedy piglins. Each of these biomes have a unique environment and personality. The update also included a new mega structure that piglins and piglin brutes guard to protect their prized possessions. Overall, I think that the Nether update has brought a lot more to the table than previously. And now we will see how this guy thinks that not only is this update the worst of all the updates imaginable, but also how it ruins Minecraft lore. Hey autists, Fat Autistic Kid here. Welcome to another episode of Fat Autistic Critiques, a long-awaited comeback that's stronger than before. Today, we will make a critique on this guy called FireFlammo246, so without further ado, let's get straight to his points.
It ends tonight, Batman. Or should I say, Butthead.
Right off the bat, this guy keeps referring to the Minecraft lore constantly in order to criticize the update and the choices made in them. However, we can see that whenever he refers to the lore, he's referring to the lore that he made up himself, such as
the villagers and illagers who we see now were likely once one group as they're the same species, and from lore given by old updates we can only assume they were called testificates. The strongholds supposedly were built by them probably around the same time they still imbued iron golems. As we know, the strongholds are a sort of prison as well as a bunker and house much magic and wizardry, and as seen by the moss and silverfish are long out of order. Best we can assume is there was a civil war and the testificates split up into what villagers and illagers we see now, as well as what other races have died out long ago. The iron golems that spawn in villages were likely stuck after the civil war and have been since searching for further purpose in life, which is defending testificates, so when they find a village they stay and continue doing what they were brought to life for. Also, you ever noticed how iron golems have 3 elbows?
Do me a favor. Shut the fuck up.
Making a criticism of Minecraft's update just because of the lore that you made up yourself literally makes no sense. This is like if Nintendo made a new Yoshi's Island game, God bless that it isn't just as bad as New Island, and criticizing it based off a fanfiction that I made about the original Yoshi's Island 2 decades ago. It's just not comparable. The very ironic factor here is that he mentioned this.
Though I don't really like it for the common reason most people like it for, like it's a sandbox game with extensive things to do and stuff. I just like the game lore it offers.
However, this guy literally made up his own Minecraft lore, utilizing the sandbox factor of the game. Speaking of sandbox, I think we can all agree that Minecraft is in fact a sandbox game, and that Mojang has made their intent clear that they want lore-related things to be presented but kept secret, and then it's up to the player to come up with their own lore, which is especially highlighted with the mystery surrounding the Warden mob and the various pots that you can make, which was announced in the 1.17 Caves and Cliffs update. However, this guy uses his made-up lore and considers it canon to Minecraft, whilst neglecting that very obvious fact that the game is a sandbox, and that everyone will think and have different perceptions of the Minecraft lore, which in my opinion makes his entire video redundant just because of that point. But this guy has more points than just, "Oh, they ruined my fanfiction!" So, let's just get right into these other points that he made.
Wrong answers make me angry.
Throughout the video, whenever FireFlammo uses his lore to describe the Nether, he usually draws onto biblical references in order to describe how the new Nether has ruined his own lore.
Also, they should rename the lava ocean to the Lake of Fire, as the Nether is supposed to resemble hell as fire and brimstone after all. The Nether represents hell, which as we all know is basically the eternal prison of the damned.
Little does he know that the Nether is not meant to be a biblically accurate representation of hell, but rather an inspiration of it. This means that it doesn't need to follow biblical allusions whatsoever, and the fact that FireFlammo attempts to shove in all of this religious bullcrap seriously annoys me, making it seem like he just wants to shove his religious propaganda into a game just because he believes it. The fact that it's an inspiration and not a representation really makes it a lot more interesting, so I don't see the problem with the Nether not being exactly a representation of hell.
The new Wendy's chicken sandwich is making reactions from everyone, like the Among Us player.
I love children.
Fire Flammo seems to have a complete boner for hating the piglins, and I don't see why. For starters, he claims that the Nether is already hard enough because of the zombie pigmen, which is kinda stupid when you consider how zombie pigmen are neutral and not hostile. He claims that living things like the piglins shouldn't be included in the Nether.
Adding something living to this place basically negates the whole purpose of hell. Both demons and the damned are neither alive. Demons are called fallen angels because they at first followed the devil instead of joining life like us and living out in the mortal incorruptible body or something. Therefore, they've never lived, so they could never have died. And as just said, the damned are just the guys who lived and died in sin. So you can sorta get why adding something living is just a really dumb idea. Also, guess what? They may as well not even be native to the Nether because they take fire damage. Can you believe it? The ones who lived in hell before demons aren't even immune to their own home. That's like putting a water-soluble species on an aquatic planet.
And ironically, he ignores the fact that chickens can spawn in the Nether with baby zombie pigments on top of it. He also states the irony of piglins taking fire damage despite living in their own home, ignoring the fact that skeletons could take fire damage too. Funny thing, many materials in the Nether like netherrack literally burns in lava. The blocks that literally make up the hell itself can literally get burnt in lava. Like, where's the logic? Also, he got angry by the fact that zombie pigmen were changed, which is completely stupid because zombified piglins are meant to keep up with the continuity of the new Nether they're trying to establish, and yet this absolute fanboy gets triggered by the fact that something old has changed. Now, speaking of which, let's get right to the next point.
Shit, that's gonna make me busting up like R2-D2. Am I right, fellas?
This guy hates Netherite, and it probably hinges off the fact that he doesn't like a new tier being added to the game. He thinks that it has replaced diamonds, despite the fact it's literally an upgrade and not a replacement of diamonds, meaning that they're actually a lot more valuable than ever. He claims that ancient debris is really hard to come across. Now, don't get me wrong, it can be quite hard to find, but with the right methods, it could sometimes be an absolute breeze to come across. This part of the video really makes me feel like he was just hating on something just because it was new in the game, and that he's just some form of Minecraft nostalgia fanboy who doesn't really like change.
Oh, lucky me! Everybody come and look what I found! It's a cunt!
There were other weird short nitpicks that Fire Flammo complained about, though I think I can put all of these into one point. So, here they are. Enderman not being able to pick up netherrack is apparently bad because it doesn't fit with his lore. Like, just take a look at this.
Endermen can no longer carry netherrack, which negates their whole reason to be there. Endermen pick up blocks solely to bring back to the end to build up the island. The prolonged exposure to void and endness, I guess, erodes it into the endstone and obsidian we all see there. Marsh Davies even theorizes the endstone accrues from sort of invisible end spores or something, potentially making it what it is, so that's something. Under the tyrannical fist of the Ender Dragon, the native Endermen are sent anywhere accessible in the universe to collect terrain to bring back to the end, which includes hell, as that falls in the anywhere category.
What? Shipwrecks and ocean ruins spawn less commonly, and apparently that's bad because less testificate societies? I don't get what this guy is trying to go for, and what his reason is into why they spawn less commonly, and I don't think this guy really understands that they were removed because early game, they were basically broken progression. Well, honestly, the progression wasn't already there, but you get the point. Anytime this guy mentions Mojang, it's constantly represented as Notch, which makes no sense considering how Mojang isn't even run by Notch anymore, and hasn't been for a good while. In conclusion, I feel like this whole video is just some guy complaining that his religious fanfiction wasn't included in a block game, and then it's the worst update just because of that alone, along with other bizarre nitpicks that don't even add up. He neglects Mojang's intent for the Minecraft lore, and most importantly, he neglects that it's a sandbox game and that everyone should interpret the lore in their own way. Anyways, thanks for watching and I'll see you all in the next video.